Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Today I'm reviewing the Gerber EVO Jr. Is this possibly one of the best inexpensive little mini knives for you out there? Let's find out. Is the Gerber EVO Jr. one of the better available inexpensive knives on the market? Well, that's what I'm here to discuss for you today. But before I go into that review, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button below, just click that little subscribe button. It makes it easier for me to bring this information to you. Thanks for clicking. So the Gerber EVO knife. In the spectrum of knives, there are a literal mountain of possible pocket knives that you can purchase on the market that are about in this size with the 2 3/4 blade, this sort of size handle and everything. So how do you choose? Well, I bought my knife years and years and years and years and years ago, and it's still going strong. I'll also put a link to this knife below and also the other knives and products that I'm going to show in this video. But why did I choose to give you this review here? Well, when you're debating the gazillions of knife choices, what do you go after? Do you go after durability, name brand, product reliability, how long the edge stays sharp, or what do you go with that? So I think this was the first knife I purchased a long time ago, and I thought, hey, you know what? Gerber has a very good product name and brand, and I should check it out. And sure enough, I did, and I've kept this in multiple trucks that I've owned for a long time. So I'm going to show you how the knife looks in your hand, how well it cuts or doesn't cut, how is it to open, and everything in this review. So you'll notice straight away that this knife is not very large. Let me get the tape measure out and we'll show you right here. The knife body, when closed, is about 3.5 inches long, so not too big at all. It fits into your pocket very well. It does come with a pocket clip, which is super nice. The blade, let me flip the knife open here. All right, we'll do that. The blade, just like according to the information, is 2.5 inches long. So it's not a huge knife. It's definitely not a sword or not absurd, but it actually gets the job done. Now, this knife comes in a couple of different variants. I bought the Junior just because I wanted something small and it doesn't bother me to carry it around or leave it in the truck. And I also preferred the serrations to the straight edge, simply because a lot of times when I need to cut rope or something a little bit coarse, the serrations always tend to cut better than the straight edge because there's more surface area and serrations tend to stay sharper longer. So there is a definite advantage to that design. Now, you'll see that this is a liner lock type knife where there's a tiny lock inside. Let's see if you can see that there. There you go. And that's how this blade opens and stays shut. Now, once you lock the knife open, the blade is not going to come down and hack you on the thumb like, say, a traditional Victorinox pocket knife would. So having a locking knife is really nice, simply for safety, because if you've got the old timer, the Schrade, the Victorinox, or any of the classic Swiss Army knives that don't lock. More than once I've been cutting something, I move my hand, it folds, and wow, chop the oblivion out of my thumb. So that is a nice feature of this knife, is that liner lock allows you to do that. Also, the nice part about a liner lock is that it stays out of the way. It's very easy to handle whether you have fingernails or not. So that actually works pretty well. This is not a spring-assisted knife. This is not an auto knife. So it is legal in all 50 states and territories and such until like California and New York decide to ban anything other than water balloons. So, sorry, just had to get that in there because it's so true. So you have two, actually, maybe three ways to open this knife. A traditional knife uses a little finger groove to pull it out. This knife does not have that. Instead, it has the back index nub that allows you to pull down on the knife, begin opening it, and then you'll see two little thumb studs on here that allow you to pick the knife and rotate it up, click it out. Okay, so that's actually pretty slick. So you bring it here, and you can see the liner lock click into place. So that works pretty well. So you all can also simply open the knife with the thumb studs. Because this knife is so small, it's not as easy to do that. So I can just simply push the blade out with my hand there, flip it around, click it open, and it works pretty well. Because this is not spring assisted, I have yet to be able to, that's about as far as I can flick the knife open. This is definitely not a balisong or butterfly knife or whatever, but the blade does have enough mass that if you get it open, you can't quite flick it like that, but if you flip it open and flick your wrist, you can actually start to practice and open this thing faster. Now, one of the things about these knives is like, oh, that's a little sissy knife, it's small. Let me tell you, it gets the job done. It cuts paper, it cuts everything. You get this paper, slashes it no problem. I'm going to do my now famous plastic container test to see how well the knife can actually penetrate into a plastic container. So I'm going to simply hold it in here, hold it near my face because that's totally safe, stab towards my hand, and we're going to put it right here and we're going to stab in. Ready? So we're going to wiggle, boom, and you can see, where is it? Right there, easy. And I pull it out. So that's the thing, this has a titanium nitride coating on it. It actually slips into this plastic very, very well. Now, you compare that to my zero tolerance hinder or anything like that, and that straight up stainless blade actually sticks a little bit more to plastic. So if for some reason you need to stab things a lot more plastic or whatever, cutting into an object, this titanium nitride type coating actually does better than a stainless. Now, the price difference on these knives is huge. I mean, you could click the link to Amazon below or click the link to the zero tolerance below. You'll hit the zero tolerance, you'll be like, holy bleeping bleep, Batman. You click the link to this blade on Amazon, the Gerber, and you'll be like, dang, that's only like 3 cups of Starbucks, right? So this is a great option for you. Now, how much does this knife weigh? Well, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to have to turn on my handy dandy scale. I'm going to put the knife on it, lock and hold, and that knife weighs 1.8 ounces or 52 grams for those who love the metric system. Compare that to a zero tolerance knife that weighs 5.2 ounces. This is a much heavier knife. Or compare it to the Benchmade Striker. That knife is 4.2 ounces. There you go. So even though this little Gerber knife is much lighter, it is smaller, it has a shorter blade, you can actually get away with a lot of things because it's a below a 4-inch blade, so it doesn't have any restrictions. Plus, it's super inexpensive, easy to open, easy to handle. It's not a sword, and if for some reason you accidentally break it or something happens, right? Remember, never pry with a knife. This knife, the best saying is, the knife is the worst and most expensive pry bar you'll ever own. Exactly. But the blade on this is really nice because it has not only the standard hollow ground design, but it also has a smaller back. It's a grooved back there. So when you do need to stab into some sort of plastic and cut through things, that grooving on the back of the knife actually makes it much, much easier. So I've had this knife for a long time, this Gerber EVO Jr. pocket knife, and I gotta say, It's easy to sharpen. I mean, you just get one of these Smith sharpeners here, and you just draw the blade through there a couple times, and you do that, and it'll shave off your fingernails pretty darn quick. So it's the steel on this isn't as tough as the EL Max on the 0 tolerance or the 154 on the Benchmade Striker. But again, you know, and I'll put a link below. This is the ultimate sharpener for a couple bucks. You know, these are super sexy. This is an auto. It can't be legal in every state, but whatever. But this thing has kept trucking, and sometimes I throw it in my pocket. Also has a pocket clip, which is very nice, and it's a very thick pocket clip. And in fact, this pocket clip on here is actually thicker than my 0 tolerance or my Benchmade, so go figure there. So the pocket clip on here fits in your pocket. You simply push it in, and it's thick. I mean, it's not flexed. In fact, geez, I haven't broken this thing in a long time because I rebent it. Let me see if I can get that on there. Come on. Oh well. It's so tight, it won't even fit in my pocket yet. So I don't use this. There we go. Okay, there we go. So there you go. Very simple, easy to use, flicks out, hard to beat. Gerber EVO Jr. pocket knife. Can't recommend it enough. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Please like, comment, and subscribe on my video. Thank you very much for hitting the subscribe button for the information. Also, please support me on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon. Thank you very much for watching.